Wagwan, wagwan, wagwan. Peace and blessings to each and every individual. I am currently live on Facebook Live, Rumble, and YouTube. So all chats are open, waiting for people to chime on in, and we're going to begin. We're going to give it about 30 seconds, and we're going to get this thing going. We're going to get this show on the road. I love having music play. I love it. I love it. I love the beats. I love the melody. I love just getting in that zone. You know, when you get in that zone and you just let the vibe, you just let the energy, you just let the spirit flow. And that's all you do. Got my Hermosa. I'm chilling. It's a Saturday morning. It's happy hour somewhere. All right, we're gonna begin. Shout out to Miss Sadia Khan. She's a relationship therapist. She gives different things from a different perspective of various relationships, and she gives advice. And I thought that it would be a great, amazing opportunity to, conversate and review and really have some fun with it, but really dive deep into this whole relationship thing. Now that my page is growing, I get a lot of individuals asking me questions, mainly a lot of women. But for the most part, to me, it's a thing of when it comes to relationships and it comes to attracting that right one, whether you man or woman, attracting that right one, you have to know, number one, you have to be ready. You have to be in a place and space for relationships. Does relationships really take a lot of work? It really doesn't if you really look at it from a certain way. If you have two people that are willing to come together, that are willing to put the work in, the relationship is fun because the both of you are learning and growing and having fun together while you both are on this journey. And a large number of individuals don't really look at it that way. They look at it from a different geographic. Okay. But when you really sit back and you peel it down and you break things down, stick for stick, twigs for twig, brick by brick, you will begin to understand that when it comes to a relationship, having a healthy relationship is going to take time, it's going to take patience, it's going to take some putting in work. It's about teamwork. We provide for each other. We both have something to bring to the table. When it comes to this modern way of thinking and doing things, it makes relationship kind of challenging. But when you have two good people that are coming together that really want something, that really want a relationship, that really want to build that future, why not have fun as you go along the way? Why not? So, without further ado, I have my Hermosa. Let's chill, grab your shoulder pads and your helmet, and let's get this work. Hustle and motivate.
then she has to earn your either respect or disrespect. She has to do something to cause that reaction in you. As a beautiful woman, you can do absolutely nothing, and you can incite intense hatred in either men and women, mainly women, but even men. They might see a really beautiful woman and intensely start to criticize her, so that they almost kind of skip the rejection part. Unconsciously, they're rejecting her before she can reject them. So they might say things like, "Oh, she wears so much makeup. This is or oh, I bet that she's had so much." It's their way of unconsciously kind of diminishing her before she has the chance to do that to them, or they'll be hyper positive about her. So there might be men who really put her on a pedestal. There might be women who want to be just like her, and either or is just not a fair place to be in. So the beautiful women either over-identify with being beautiful, make that their entire personality and go down that career, or they get really, if they're trying not to make that their career, not make that identity, they suffer in the form of vacuous relationships and a lot of negativity from same sex.
Yeah, that's what I see, particularly like in the comments on my channel. If I post a video of a particularly attractive female, or even a man who's attractive, you know, not necessarily physically, but maybe his personality or his charisma, whatever, the comments will be crueler than anything you'll ever see.
Isn't that crazy? Like, the more...
Oh, you're going to hit the wall. Let's see what she looks like in 10 years. You know it's going to suck for her. And you know, just all these terrible comments.
Yeah, and
which happens to everybody.
Yeah, but I would imagine, and I can only go by my own experience, but I would imagine if I was severely overweight or considerably older or whatever and saying the exact same thing, I might still attract hate, because I know what I talk about is quite controversial. But I doubt the hate would be directed to my appearance. Whereas
when most people look at certain things, I know that with a large number of women, that sometimes can play a factor. Your weight, how you look, your outer appearance. I'm gonna tell you something. I have a few friends. They love dating big women. They love it. There's always going to be someone for everyone. Me personally, look at myself for an example. I'm 6'2". I'm 280 pounds, 290 pounds. Okay. I'm tall on the muscular side. I may not be that attractive toward, to women, to some. Some, hey, you know what? You're not my type. You're not my preference. Okay. And it's okay. Everyone has a different preference. You know, you will start to notice that some women don't like tall, muscular men. They like skinny men, or they like short men, or whatever the case may be. I'm a big teddy bear, but it's okay. We're not going to be everyone's type, but we are going to be someone's type. So never be ashamed or afraid of how you look on the outside, because there's always going to be someone, something for everyone. The main thing would be, when you have that one, are you willing to allow that individual to like you? Let me repeat myself again. Are you willing to allow an individual to like you? Oftentimes, we meet people all day, whether if you're at work or you're taking care of, you handling your handle every day, or whatever the case may be. You at the gym, you at the grocery store. It can be your neighbor. You could be going out to dinner and you meet someone. Whatever the case may be, are you presentable? That's number one. Really, are you presentable? Are you approachable? You see, sometimes we turn away individuals because we feel that we're not compatible with them, or we don't like them, or whatever we feel. We got to be mindful of that emotion part of it, and start thinking logic. If this person is approaching me and this person is coming at me the right way, and this person is showing me that they are interested, why would I want to turn that person away? I would be a fool to turn that person away. And shout out to the people that's chiming in right now. Peace and blessings and respect. And let's continue to get that love. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to look Let's continue to not look at things, but look in things. I love all you people. I love them. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all. So again, there's always going to be someone for everyone. I don't care if you chubby, if you athletically built, or whatever the case may be. Allow a person to like you. In this day and age, when it comes to relationships, animals show their love for each other more than humans do. Sometimes we can like a person, and that person, because a certain individual is used to dealing with a certain type of individual, that when someone out of the norm comes along, we don't know how to handle that person. We don't know what to do. You know, if you used to dealing, if you are a woman and you're used to Pookie and Ray Ray and Larry and them, then when a good man of good sense and good character comes along, you're not going to know how to treat him, right or wrong. So sometimes individuals can mess up something before it even gets started. Or if you're an individual and you're used to the Makitas and the Shaquitas, then when a good woman walks in the room, you're not going to know how to treat her. So you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Because growing up, this is what you were around all along. You are who you attract. That's when you have to make an executive decision to say, okay, let me look at myself. I know some women out there that are chunky, that are big, but they personality, they're wholesome, they're sweet, they're amazing. And I see those women getting in relationships more than I do those that are physically fit. Talk back. Why? Because they humble. And they're not going to let a good thing walk right past them like, duh. But it's the whole thing of being humble. I know who I am and whose I am in the season of my life. So if I know who I am and I walk in the essence of that, ain't nothing nobody gonna tell me. I know I'm not gonna be everybody's type, and I'm okay with that, but I'm gonna be somebody's type. Here, let me show you. Let me be available. Let me be willing and be open. Well, guess what? You meet a person and y'all may live in different states. That's why they made plane tickets. You do know that, right? That's why it's called airfare. That's why it's called, you know what? I don't mind taking a plane and flying to where you at to go be with you for that time, and vice versa. You know what? I need to relocate. Certain things will happen for certain reasons. We have to sit back and look into things instead of looking at things. Let's continue to feast.
The way I stand at the moment on social media, I'm not trying to be negative. There's lots of beautiful comments and lots of very nice things that are said to me, but I went into social media with zero kind of expectation that any appearance talk would be it, because that's not what I came here for, but it still becomes a focus. So I kind of just, I'm very numb to it. It's something I've experienced my whole life, and I think I experienced so much negativity with appearance only because I never pursued a career that monetizes appearance. I was always a teacher, I was always something academic, I was always in that realm, and in that realm people can't accept the two worlds colliding, so I always got a lot of negativity from it, which is fine, it's okay, and they're right. One day you do hit the wall and it will go, and then you won't have to worry about it so much. It's
hard for attractive women also to make friends.
Yes, very much so.
So many of them that I've met don't, if they do have friends, they're not competitive.
Yes. That's the key.
A very unattractive female would be friends with a particularly attractive one. Yeah,
it has to be a woman that genuinely is happy in her own circumstance, and there is zero competitiveness. But if there's even one thing that she sees in your life that she wants, and that could just be male attention, it could be the appreciation you get from other people, it could be anything. Unfortunately, the relationship starts to deteriorate from the inside out, and it's very difficult, because this is the thing where guys always say, oh, men and women women can't be friends. But from my personal experience, if you're an attractive woman, if you don't have any male friends, you're going to suffer in the form of very competitive female friends. So you're going to be very lonely. You're going to have to find friends somewhere. So it is very difficult. Have you noticed that with women as well, that they tend to be very competitive? But this is why I find the whole movement of being a feminist and whole like girl power and girls girl and I'm a girl's girl, it's so fake. It's so...
Exactly. It's so fake. And that whole feminist movement has messed a large number of women's minds up. Social media has disqualified a large number of women. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm gonna keep it a penny with you. Social media has disqualified and destroyed and has made a large number of women look bad. Real bad. Bad. Like, and we see that. A large number of women claiming they want a lifestyle that they never had, but they saw someone else having it. Not knowing that those individuals had to bust their ass to get what they wanted to get or to get what they are. Let's be clear. Instead of just saying, you know what? With a little bit of work and a little bit of time, that can be me. No, be yourself. A large number of women, not every woman, a large number of women have painted this delusional picture in their minds of where and what they want or what they think they need from an individual in a relationship and feel that they don't have to do anything. Keep living in that dream world. Keep living that. Because the reality is you're the ones that's missing out. And we see it. Actually, I'm gonna make it clear. Those are the ones that are crashing out on social media, and we see it. Go to TikTok, go to Instagram. You will see more and more modern feminist women making videos about men, trashing men, shaming men, talking about the men that they want, but the same man that they want don't want them. Ain't checking for them, not looking their way, not showing up on their doorstep. And they wonder why. Really? Instead of looking at yourself, we have to look at ourselves. We have to have a meeting with ourselves. Not alone that, you do not want to take the wrong person around your family members. You don't want to take the wrong person to the family cookout and have Big Mama pull you in the kitchen and have a meeting about who you bought. You don't want that embarrassment. Or take the wrong person around your friends. So these are the things that we have to look at. And we have to be clear about it. So when it comes to dating, when it comes to attracting the right individual, no one's perfect. But you got to use wisdom. That goes both for men and women. You have to be willing to use wisdom. You have to be willing to be available. And if you have childhood issues, and let me make this clear, because I made a mistake, but I own my mistake. Do not marry a person that is broken. Do not marry a person that has not dealt with their childhood past, because by not dealing with those things, it will affect your social and your love life. It will. No one's perfect, but it's not up to you to fix an individual. It's not your responsibility to deal with that individual knowing that they continue to run from their past. It is up to that individual to recognize their past, to face it, and heal from it. Don't just rely on spiritual healing. You got to go get counseling for that, because now you're talking about layers and layers and layers of things from your past. And as you get older, it gets worse. And you have a large number of individuals that will sit up there and shame one and shame many. got a word for everybody else, but soon as everybody else got a word for you, you get in your feelings and your emotions. Talk back.
So fake. Like the reality is, why is there girl code, girl this, when you guys are the first to throw each other under the bus if you're both after the same guy, or if you see someone who's more attractive? It's fake. Girls only show girl code when, or are only like supporting other girls if they don't see them as a threat. The moment that girl is a threat in any way, shape or form, then girl code goes out the window. There's never girls supporting girls. The gloves are off. So that's why I've never bought into this whole like feminism nonsense.
Yeah, men don't really do that.
No, they don't do this boy
So if you see a guy at the gym who's really changed his body, looks.
Men don't do that. Men do things differently. Just like my brother, I am. He's in great shape. He handles his own. He does his thing. He's a beast in the weight room. Like I'm gonna sit up there and lust after my brother and hate on my brother. Because his body is better than mine's. That's wrong on my part. When, hey, me and my brother have different body types, but we both doing it together. We both staying in shape together. Why? To live a healthy life, to live a long time. There's a way to look at things versus a woman hating on another woman for how she looked. I literally have seen women that are physically fit hate on a heavyset woman. I've seen it. I've even seen it in the clubs because I've worked a lot of clubs. That heavyset woman, she has a personality about her. She has style. She has sex appeal. And she just has that thing that attracts men. But that woman that is physically fit is sitting there hating on that big woman and end up wanting to fight her. For what? Because she draws attention and you're not. Think about that. Really sit back and think about that. We cannot act like it doesn't exist. It does exist. When you talk about the whole sister code, the girls and the sisterhood, that's a crock of baloney. Ain't nothing but BS. Because soon as a woman talks about or shares something positive that she does for her man, women that ain't got no man got something to say about the one that does have a man and throws flame on her. But wait a minute. It's supposed to be the sisterhood, right? Supposed to be girls, right? No. The girls, the sisterhood, they promote toxicness. They promote trash, evilness, bitterness. They all the same. They either slow, something wrong with them, wear too much makeup, all that weave, long claw eyelashes, long claw fingernails. But you want a good man. Gotcha.
It's really great. You'll be like, dude, you look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And you just congratulate him on what he's accomplished.
And if there is a jealousy, it turns into a healthy competition, or the jealousy is more competitive. It's like if they're playing basketball, it's like a form of motivation.
Yeah, it's inspiration.
Yeah, I know, but it's an evolved trait. It's definitely an evolved trait because essentially we had to.
One thing I can say about my brother, I am, and a few other friends, when we out and about, we communicate, we encourage each other, we congratulate each other, we bring out the best in each other. We don't hate on each other. I see a large number, I see a large number of women hating on each other. It's like even down to one's dating preference. See, I say what most don't say or don't want to say or scared to say because I have no filter. I'd rather be honest with you than lie to you. I see a large number of women hating on each other. And when it comes to a woman hating on each other, it has no color. You, eh, I tried to told you.
Rely on men for survival. We couldn't hunt and gather ourselves, and the more women there would be in his world, the more unlikely we are to survive and get food and resources for our children. So we'd naturally see other women as threats, and the quickest way to kind of reduce that threat is to either undermine her beauty or undermine her chastity and suggest she's highly promiscuous. So those are usually the two routes women go for when they're trying to attack a woman.
A lot of envy out there.
Yeah, there's a lot, unfortunately.
Are all romantic relationships transactional?
I think, here's the thing,
Even
I think
marriage?
unconsciously they have, I wouldn't say they're transactional, but I don't believe in unconditional love. I don't think love should be unconditional. Outside of your children and your parents, it's not going to be unconditional. I think if...
When it comes to relationships nowadays, if you're not reading the room, you're not going to know or identify if going into something is going to be transactional or not. I believe that a large number that modern feminist women have made relationships and interactions transactional because if they not internet begging, they begging for something. If you have a woman that leans in with begging, I need my hair done. You gonna cash at me this. And she barely even knows you. Then you already know what time she on. To me, that's prostitution at that point. Versus a woman leaning in with good intentions because she wants a relationship. You see? So when it comes to that, some have it twisted with the way they're going with that and what they need and want. And most are not being clear about it. If it's just transactional, you don't want no relationship, just say so. I respect you more if you're honest. A large number of individuals are not honest. They're not. Because they don't want to appear to be a certain way. Well, you already disqualified yourself when you started saying what you were saying. Because now this is how a man is going to take you. This is how a man is going to look at you. So the respect, you already killed the respect. Does every woman come at relationships that way? No. That's why you have to read the room. Every woman is different. Every woman is not the same. If you up on game and if you from the streets, you gonna peel this thing black, blue, like a damn banana. And you're gonna call it for what it really is. And then you're gonna make an executive decision. Whether you mess with this person or you don't. Period. That's it, that's all. No weed, no seed, no stress.
If somebody treats you badly, you're no longer attracted to each other, somebody provides no benefit to you and you've got no connection, you're not going to be unconditionally in love with them. So I think there are always conditions, but some people's conditions are far more transactional than others.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, so I would say, like, for example, my conditions might be that you have to be loyal to me, you have to be faithful, and we have to trust each other, etc. But another person's condition might be that you have to provide for me, you have to provide for my parents, and you have to do this and you have to do. So just everybody has conditions. Some of those conditions are far more transactional than others, and how you know how transactional it is how attracted the person is. If they are genuinely attracted to you, it gets less and less transactional. As the attraction decreases, the transaction increases.
I believe that. I solely believe that. Not only that, but a person is going to show you by their actions. Watch a person's actions. Men are the prize. Women are the prize. It's two good people to come together. They both the prize because they're good to each other. They provide for each other. They ride for each other. They build together. This is my teammate. You want to find out if you really have you somebody that's really, really for you? Lose your job or get hurt. And Elohim has to bench you and sit you down. Then you'll find out what type of person you have. Because a real person gonna ride for you. A real person gonna stand by you. A real person gonna rock with you. They're not gonna leave you. They're not gonna throw in the towel and leave you and put you between a pimp and a hard place. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where your faith is tested. This is where everything that came out of your mouth in the beginning, we're going to see if you can back it up. We're going to see if you're really about that. We're going to see what type of person you are. And 9 times out of 10, a large number of individuals show what type of person they are when hard times come because they asses are so quick to run. They're so quick to throw in a towel. I know that firsthand. After being married for 14 months, but you don't hear me though.
Who benefits more in marriage, man or woman?
I think there's no benefit for a man, unfortunately, in the Western way of marriage. I think it's so sickening that, you know, we have this agreement that women, when they divorce a man, they can just leave with a lot of his money or expect alimony for the rest of their life. And one of the things I always ask women is, are you going to have sex with him after you divorce for the rest of your life? And she's like, why would I do that? I was like, then why do you expect payment for the rest of your life? It's so strange that they want the perks and the lifestyle of the one that they attained from jumping on the back of their husband after the divorce, yet they wouldn't give anything after the divorce. They didn't even give a lot of that during the marriage, let alone after. So I feel like it's it's almost a culture of creating sadistic women by pushing that kind of, you get half after the divorce. And they seem to say, well, you know, a lot of the excuses, oh, but I wasted so many years being dedicated to him, but you both wasted it. That's a risk you take. He also wasted many years being investing in you, and he could have been investing in lots of other people. So I just think that this.
And I also have to add to that, even if you've been married a short time, because I think it's between 80 to 85% of divorce has been filed by women. Okay, I believe so. But even then, when you look at why the divorce took place, you will be amazed at some of the stories. Some of the offenses was worth it. Some of the offenses had nothing to do with nothing. For real. I cannot be making this ish up. And so when you have that, it's like, why do it in the first place? If you wasn't going to honor the vows, if you wasn't going to honor the agreement by the Most High. A large number of individuals are not willing to honor it. Why? Some individuals are not marriage material. Let's be clear. Let's get that out the way. Let's start there. Most individuals are not marriage material. Look at their history, especially if they've been married before and the marriages failed. That's a red flag on its own. Number 2, that individual has not dealt with their childhood issues. That is going to cause a huge wedge in a marriage. If an individual has had a promiscuous lifestyle, some say, I gave that up. But come on now. It goes back to reading the room. Let's talk about feelings and emotions. A large number go off of feelings and emotions. How they feel. Now we see why. a large number of those women have filed for divorce for things that had nothing to do with nothing versus here's a logical reason why I filed. All you have to do is listen. The more you listen, the person will tell on themselves.
That's why I would be, as a man living in the West, unless it's for religious reasons, I wouldn't recommend you getting married. If you're religious, absolutely. But if you're non-religious and your wife is, or your girlfriend is putting pressure on you, ask her why. Ask her why, because a lot of them see it as a life insurance for after they get divorced, they still have a payment plan.
We call that
alimony. But this is the extremities. This is not the average woman. I would say this is more the extremities, but unfortunately that is becoming the culture.
So I'm sure in your practice you see a lot of women that are, getting into things that look like a sugar baby type.
Yes, absolutely.
Relationship. Are there women who marry men knowing full well that they're going to divorce them and take half their money?
That's why they're marrying them. Yeah, that's entirely why they're marrying them.
And for the men, let me have a conversation with y'all. Stop being simplicious. If you already know what the time is, what the deal is, sometimes it's best to pick up your shoulder pads and your helmet and walk on. Stop staying in situations that doesn't benefit you. The more you stay in situations that doesn't benefit you, when all hell breaks loose, there ain't nothing you can say because you had an out, but you didn't take it. Let me ask you something. Was it that good that you couldn't leave? You didn't want to leave? Was she doing any and everything to cater to you because she knew what her plans was, but you didn't know, and she knew how to woe you? Is that what it is? You a damn fool. If you are with someone that doesn't benefit you, leave. Period. That's why I give props to Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, for him to end long-term alimony. When he did that, boy, a large number of women in the state of Florida was tearing out their heads. They was tripping over sprinkled donuts and powdered donuts, knocking over trash cans, cutting their hair. They was socking holes in walls. Oh, they went ballistic. See, Ron DeSantis, get it. Nah, you got two legs. You got hands. You can get up and go to work. And it won't be long until other states start slowly following suit. Just like the whole paternity test thing. Now, right at birth, they're going to do a paternity test. Regardless of what you say, they're going to do it just to make sure. But again, let's continue to feast.
And how you know, these are the signs that she's marrying you for money. Usually she's not got her own money. She's got nothing to lose from the marriage. So she will have no money of her own or no career of her own, or she would have been married to a really rich man before and set up a business from that. But there's been a pattern of either no money or relying on men for money. Another thing is she usually comes from a broken home, yet she pushes the idea of marriage. It's really strange. What I notice a lot with these sugar babies, they usually come from a broken home. This is no insult. It's just, what I notice.
Or gold diggers.
Oh, gold diggers, yeah. They usually come from a very broken home without a father figure. And this is why fathers are so important, because the path that leads women down is not a healthy one. But they come from that background. Yet they'll say to their boyfriend, who they've only been with for 6 months, I'm a traditional woman. I want to get married. I want to have kids and I want to get married. So they push this idea of marriage when they never saw it growing up. They've had sex with plenty of men before before marriage. They have no idea about how to be a wife or cooking or cleaning or any of those things because they didn't witness that in their home. They didn't see mum and dad, have dinner together every day and mum being loyal to a man or anything.
That's why when you go to counseling, that's why the therapist always asks that question. What was it like growing up? Because it gives the therapist an idea of why you behave the way you behave, why you move the way you move, why you do what you do, why you say what you say. Because a lot of it stems from what happened in your childhood. What did you see growing up? What was done to you growing up? What were you around growing up? You following me so far? So we begin to have this understanding, this breakthrough understanding of why a large number of individuals behave the way they behave. Now we're not moved when they say what they say, when they do what they do. Because now we know where it stems from. We got to get down to the root of it. And once we get down to the root of it, we talk about it. And we come up with solutions to fix it. A large number of individuals are not willing to get down to the root of it and find a solution to fix it because they are too damn busy running from themselves. And wonder why they keep hitting up a damn brick wall each and every time. When it comes to their social life, when it comes to their love life, they are hitting the wall hard. Real hard. And then they keep themselves busy so they ain't got to think about it. But they know good and well what the hell they did. You know who I'm talking about. Let's continue.
They didn't see that yet. They push the idea that they want to be married and they want to have kids. They make marriage the focus prematurely. They really push marriage prematurely. So you haven't even known them well enough, but they really push the idea of marriage, and you can't even mention the word prenup. It's a forbidden word. If you're in a relationship with a woman and where the word prenup is spoken like you're scared of what she's going to say, she's planning to divorce you.
Well, the thing is, I ain't got to worry about asking a woman for prenup. Because guess what? All my assets are somewhere else. I'll leave it at that. So you just target practicing. If you're going to be here, you're going to be here. If you're not going to be here, just say so. I'm going to be good either way.
It. Whereas a woman who has no plans to divorce you treats a prenup just the way you treat car insurance. You have no plan of getting into a car crash, but you take out insurance because it's a logical thing to do. And hopefully she would have an equal amount to lose. But when a woman has every intention to divorce you, the prenup is not allowed to be mentioned. And she'll say it like you're being so unromantic because you mentioned it. But the reality is the person who doesn't want the prenup is the person that's planning the divorce. The person that mentions the prenup is just being cautious, just like you would with health insurance. The person who
just like my boy Travis Hunter. I'm going to keep him in my prayers. I'm going to keep him in my prayers, And, yeah, I don't like to speak negative on individuals. But one thing I do like to do is look into things instead of looking at things. And from what I've seen, whoa, Nelly.
Avoids it is the one that's planning it. So they have these kind of signs and symbols, but more so than anything, they don't have traditional values. Outside of the idea of getting married, none of their lifestyle is traditional. Nothing's ever been traditional, ever, in any way, shape or form. But when it comes to marriage, for some reason, they're pushing for it. So it's obvious to a woman, but for men who are particularly when they are hyper attracted to a woman, they lose focus and they can't see straight.
And they have no other options in their minds.
They have no options. And the other thing, they just don't know what real love even has tasted like.
I think if you're going to get involved with a woman like that, you have to have like 7 options.
You have to. Yeah.
And if one's
but women
misbehaving,
like that don't go for men like that.
I'm
Sugar
sorry?
babies and gold diggers, they don't go for men with options.
So they want guys that are.
They want.
And I like the fact that she said that because that is so true. A woman is for the streets. A modern feminist, 99-cent mop bucket pirate, does not like a man that have options. Does not like a man that stands on business but sit on chrome. A man that knows his worth. A man that sets his limitations. His options has options. He sets his boundaries. Those type of women don't like men like that. But I'm going to tell you, a woman of good character, a woman of good value loves a man of that caliber. Why? Because she's the same, they share the same traits, and she's willing to let him lead. She knows how to let him lead. She knows how to be that of what he needs. Peace, love, respect, prayer warrior. Because that's how she was trained. Let's just say that same type of woman came from a broken home. But she made an executive decision not to follow the things of the world. She has made an executive decision to do different. And because she done different, she will attract different. Because she chose different, she attracts different. But she came from a broken home too. But she made an executive decision not to follow the things of this world. She don't know how to be a wife. She don't know. But she was willing to learn. And because she was willing to learn, this changed. I've seen it. I know individuals like that. I got female friends that grew up in the hood, but they didn't let the hood make them. They made an executive decision. They made a choice to do better and to do different. And because they did that, they placed themselves in a better position to have someone to love and to love them back. Talk back.
Want guys that are, have limited options. Yeah, they don't go for men with options. You'll see very few sugar babies that go for men who are at their peak, and very few will go for men that have high self-esteem. Very few will go for men that grew up in a really healthy relationship with their mother. They usually, they can sniff out men with very low self-esteem and limited options. And how you...
Yeah, the simps, they can sniff out the simps. They don't want a man that stands on his own. They don't want a man that will treat them like a garden tool when he has options and he exercises those options. They don't like that. They can't control and manipulate a man like that. They can't. They rather have the simps, the nerds. Those that don't get none on a regular basis, those are the ones they want. Let's be honest with, let's be real with it. This is why I say adult conversation. But see, those sugar babies, those things will backfire on them too. Because even a simp, even a nerd will get tired of eating the same old crackers and want something different. I'm trying to tell you, let's continue to feast.
You can tell a man's got limited options is your beauty is enough to get him invested. There's nothing else to it. You don't even have to talk about a lot. You don't have to invest a lot. And I'm in Dubai where I see this quite regularly. And you'll see they'll go out for dinner and she's not even talking to him. She's on her phone, but he worships her. And she knows that it's purely physical. And because she knows she can manipulate a man physically, she automatically knows this man is probably used to pornography and I'm the best he's ever had, and therefore he's not going anywhere.
It seems like marriage.
That's how I see Travis Hunter's wife viewing Travis Hunter. That's how I see her viewing him. You know what I'm saying? And that's when things are going to backfire, especially backfire on him, because he's lived a sheltered life. So therefore, it's like, man, this is the best I've ever had. It's like, no, everybody else is telling you what's going on and showing you what's going on, but you're the one in the dark. And she knows what she's doing. And she feels some type of way because other people know what she's doing and they're exposing what she's doing. But long as you don't see what she's doing, I mean, it's common sense. Just like when y'all had your honeymoon. And why would you need a 2-room villa? For what? You're on a honeymoon. You would need a 1-bedroom villa. Or when you was in Colorado, you had separate bedroom. Man. She better sink or swim. She better get her head out of her ass and get right. Or it's just gonna be a downfall. Or not seeing that marriage. I don't see that marriage lasting too long. I really don't. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I know people that can change, but it's up to her if she want to change. Travis Hunter is a good dude. He's a good dude. He may be wet. He may be wet behind the ears, but he's a good dude. We all want to be loved and want someone to love. I get that. This is where we have to use wisdom. We have to use discernment. We have to know who we are and whose we are, and we have to stand on business and sit on chrome.
Is not even an option for a lot of people now.
It's sad, but one thing I'm curious about, I'm Muslim, so I very much advocate for marriage, but it's by the eyes of God. But if I wasn't religious, I wouldn't understand why people want to get married if you cohabit and have kids anyway.
Yeah, everyone's doing that.
Yeah, so I am curious, what is the reason that women give, or men give, for getting married if they don't have a religious...
I think a lot of it is just the pressure in society that's what we all did. That's what our parents did. That's what...
Okay, it's just the next step to do.
It's like it's what you're supposed to do. And when you're madly in love with somebody, it just seems like the natural next step.
Okay, but what if you've already had...
Because it's following tradition. You have to be careful of traditions that you follow. You can be connected with that individual without getting married under man's law. Okay? Well, this seems right. No, nothing seems right. Either it's going to be right or it's going to be wrong. Either we're going to do it this way or we're not going to do it that way. When it comes to marriage, if me and you are connected, see, you have a large number of individuals that look at marriage differently from others. And this is why those types of conversations need to be had. Why is marriage important to you? You can still be one with that person, whether we have children together or not. We still connected. Instead of, having, a large number of women want the ceremony. They want the whole thing of the wedding and then so forth, especially if they never had it. And then you have some that's like, look, I love you, you love me. Let's go down to the courthouse. Or let's get a notary. We can do it that way. We ain't got to have no ceremony. Because when you start getting the state involved, There's rules to follow behind that. What do I mean? Well, now that the state's involved, you get a divorce. This is what has to happen when you get a divorce in this state. Are you really prepared for that? Or not? Share your thoughts.
The children.
I haven't been in that situation.
Yeah, but I'm just curious.
But now that I'm divorced, it's going to be very interesting to see what my next step would be.
Yeah, I'm just curious if you've already had the children, you already live together, why is marriage the next logical step?
After your video and James Sexton's video,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
This is not to put people off marriage, it's to put people off marrying the wrong person. There's a very big difference. I'm a big advocate for marriage, huge advocate. I'm a Muslim woman. I'm very much promoting marriage. It's good for children.
And so is James.
Yeah. So it's literally, for children, it's essential. But
I have nothing against marriage, but the question should be asked, why? What benefit it does me for marrying you? That's a serious question. I'm an advocate for people coming together. I'm an advocate for relationships. I'm an advocate for interracial relationships. I'm an advocate for, finding whoever loves you and making it work. I'm an advocate for that. But you need to have those hard questions. You need to have those fruitful conversations that most don't have, but run from. You see? Especially if you're talking about spending the rest of your life with that individual. You want to have an understanding of who in the hell you talking about spending your life with. Because sometimes you can make the move to spend the rest of your life with someone that turns out to be the wrong person. Now you're done. And you're going to wish you could have did things better. So instead of going through all of that, there's nothing wrong with asking the right questions. Because at the end of the day, you just want to know why. Just like asking, why do you love me? Why are you with me? What is your intentions with me? Then sit back and let that individual explain or share why. Sometimes you have to give an individual room to breathe, room to answer, room to express, room to share, room to analyze, room to gather thoughts.
The poor selection process is the only thing you can blame for when you're taken to the cleaners afterwards. That's it. There's no other cause. It's not the woman, it's not this, it's poor selection. And unfortunately, because of the sexualization of what's going on in social media, selection is getting worse and worse for men.
So many people are getting by without any type of romantic relationship in their lives.
But they do suffer. Yeah, they do suffer.
Are romantic relationships that important in our lives?
They're the fundamental ingredient for anyone's mental health. You cannot get through life without social connections. You physically can't do it. We are designed to be attached. And when you take a newborn baby, as soon as they're born, if it doesn't have someone to attach to, they essentially would erode. They've got no one to protect them. Now, I've met so many men who have not been in relationships for many years because they've got pornography and they're fine. But your body craves the touch and oxytocin of a human being. It just craves interaction. It craves being...
I understand what she means on that, but here's the thing. You don't want to be having an interaction with the wrong person. You don't. I know I don't. Some people you're not supposed to talk to. Some people you're not supposed to be around. You can't be around everybody. Can't be intimate with everybody. I'm an advocate, again, it goes back to what I said. What is right? Yeah, we're going to speak on what is right. What is wrong, we're going to acknowledge it and get down to the root of it all. That's why you got to ask questions. And that's the point that I was making earlier when I was talking about giving the analysis about, the marriage and how does it benefit you and so forth. You got to be willing to ask those questions. A large number of individuals are not willing to ask questions. So they go into something and get blindsided or get sucker punched. Well, if you would have asked those questions, you would have been able to make a proper decision. Hey, marriage ain't for me. I'd rather just date. I'd rather just have a relationship. Marriage doesn't serve me. This is my reasons why. You see what I'm saying? You got to be able to have conversations. It goes back to having proper communication. When you have proper communication skills, all of these things that I'm sharing comes naturally because there's no communication barrier. Because you know what you want, you know what you need, you know who you are, and you know what your intentions are. You tell what your intentions are. You show what your intentions are. They all line up together. Okay.
Being seen and heard, you crave these things because that's how you get feedback into knowing that you are sane. And how I can tell somebody is super, super lonely is they have very imaginary relationships. They'll be intensely invested into somebody they've met on social media that there's no reciprocity, or they will ruminate thoughts about a conversation that they had 2-3 months ago and it doesn't come out of their brain. So what happens when you don't have human interaction enough, the 1 or 2 human interactions you do have can leave your brain reeling over and over and over again because your brain is trying to look for the sources of connection. So if you don't give it to your brain, it will create imaginary ones. And it's almost a form of psychosis. Sad.
How many individuals have we came across and they've talked about this imaginary relationship with this person? I can think of one person, and she's not really a doctor. Okay, I'll just say it. Cheyenne Bryant. Have an imaginary relationship. You've been spinning the block, spinning the bottle for 5 years. I'm not gonna go into it. That's gonna be another one. That's gonna be another one I'm gonna do. But you have a large number of individuals who have this imaginary relationship, these imaginary requirements, these delusional requirements. Man got to make 6 figures, got to make 200,000 a year, this imaginary delusional requirement. Everything stems from what Ms. Khan is saying. And we see that in real time on social media with a large number of these women. So when we see that, now we know where it comes from. Now we know they're not about that life. Now we know they just capping. Now we know they just saying it for attention, for views, for likes. Now we see where it's coming from. And the more men see where it's coming from, now men are moving in full motion. They moving in a different direction. And a large number of women do not like the direction that a large men are moving in.
What should we be asking ourselves before we enter into a romantic relationship?
How am I using this person? And what am I using them for? Most of us go into relationships with something we're using them for. We can either be using them as a numbing cream to get over an ex-partner. We could be using them as a way to feel stable because of, we've got no finances ourselves. We could be using them as an ego boost because I've gotten a bit older as a man. I want a young 27-year-old so I can walk into a room and people can stare at me. How am I using this person? We're all using
I love it. Yes. If I meet a woman, okay, if I meet a woman, I'm going to lean with good intentions. I know me. Okay. I'm going to lean in with good intentions. Look, this is who I am. And I keep it brief. I don't need to give this whole long, dry story, this whole list, this whole essay, this whole paragraph is simple. This is who I am. This is my intentions. And if you want to see it, stick around so you can see it. Don't take my word for it. Stick around so you can see how I move, so you can see what I'm about. Now I'll put the ball in their court. Because a real one is going to spend time with you. A real one is going to come see about you. A real one is going to stick around and meet you where you stand. You see? That's why you be brief, direct, say less, and that's it. But I always lean with good intentions. I don't need nothing coming back on me. Because if you try to put something back on me, I'm going to challenge that. And you're not going to like the repercussions of it. Because I'm not no fool. Oh, I'm a nice man. I'm a nice guy. But I ain't no fool either. Don't forget, I'm from the streets. I sit back and I listen. I'm a trained listener. That's one of the blessings of working law enforcement. Teach you how to listen. Teach you how to watch body language, facial micros. Okay. If you for the streets, I know where to leave you. If you for the street, if you for the sheets, I know where to take you.
This person to some extent. Now, if the answer is healthy, it's because I'm using them because they make me feel safe. I can help make them feel safe, and we can provide something for each other that will create a good connection. I'm using them because they make me feel safe, and I hopefully make them feel safe. That's my usage. That's a good usage. Yeah, if we're using people because they make us feel emotionally safe, they make us feel heard, they make us feel seen, and they make us feel loved, if that's your form of using them, that's okay. That's a healthy form of using. But if I'm...
Again, it goes back to the intentions. Hey, I want to get to know you. I don't want to get to know you. I'm sorry. I'm past all of that. I'm on a whole nother level. Getting to know you, that's the easy part. I want to understand you. How can I understand you? By spending time together? Oh, whoa, I never heard it been put like that before. Because you never met a man like me before. I want to understand you. So therefore, we're going to have to spend time together. We're going to have to communicate. We're going to have to build a bond. We're going to have to build something. You see? And when you go into something being genuine, when you go in, you carry good fruits, and you come across another good person that carries good fruit, you're going to know it. Because everything is going to flow. Because it's two good people coming together that don't know each other, but both are available, both are willing. You see? And both have understanding. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with meeting each other halfway. You see? You don't know when you're going to meet someone. It can be when things are going good in your life, or Elohim can throw a monkey wrench and give you someone when things are going bad in your life and there's chaos in your life, and he sends you someone. You can be dealing with family issues. You can be between jobs. You can even be between a place to live, but Elohim will send you someone. You never know. But you stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. And there's good people out there that have good motive, that have good intentions. But there's also people out there that have bad motives and bad intentions too.
Using them because there's an unmet need here, or there's an ex that hurt me in that way, or my father didn't do this and you need to now do that. My mother caused this trauma and now you need to do this. If we're using them from that perspective, it's not going to last. The glue is too weak.
I've heard you also say that in marriages we've replaced duty with hedonism.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, the thing is, like, family members, before, when we were more collectivist, we would have a duty of care to others. We've replaced that with a duty of care to ourselves. We've replaced everything to self-love, self-care, self. We've just replaced everything. Almost everything has self in front of it. I can't think of the last time we've got a concept or a trend that involves duty, and it's an obligation and responsibility. These things are now seen as boring and they're seen as oppressive. So what culture has done is turn duty into a form of oppression, and hedonism and selfishness as a form of liberation.
But also has disrespected the way that men and women naturally come together. And I blame that solely on feminism. Feminism has really put a monkey wrench into a lot of things, especially the connection between men and women, the duties of men and women. Now you have a large number of women that say, I don't need no man, I can do it by myself. But you don't hear a large number of men saying that they don't need no woman. But the reality is we all need each other. Men and women need each other. A person that would lie to themselves would lie to you. You see? But I also believe and I also see that a large number of women are not willing to give a man a try. And I can easily say that is a two-edged sword, because you have some men that are not willing to give a woman a try. So it would be safe to say that two individuals have to be willing to give each other a try. You notice I said good individuals have to be willing to give each other a try.
It's indoctrinated all of us.
And it seems like for a lot of people, once the novelty of the romance wears off, the routine of everything just becomes too boring to tolerate.
When you can no longer feed my ego, I have no duty of care to you, is what we're getting. If you can no longer pay all my bills, I have no duty of care to you. Or if you can no longer make me feel and look good in front of my friends, and if you no longer can arouse me sexually the way you used to, I have no duty of care to you anymore. So the lack of duty of care to the people that you've created children with, you've created homes. I'm not saying everybody's perfect. Sometimes some partners really do push you. But I'm just saying in general, the lack of duty of care is something that I think it actually starts from the home. I grew up in London, and one thing I just found so bizarre is children would move out from the age of 18, and 17, 18, they'd be looking to move out, or their parents would charge them rent. And 18 is so young to me. You don't really earn enough to do that. But there was no duty of care after that age. And then what that does, it comes full circle. What would happen is the children would no longer care about the parents as the parents would age. So the duty of care would stop so young. I can only compare it to my own culture. I'm not saying my culture is perfect by any means, but the duty of care never stops, and it then reverses from the children then caring to the adults until they pass. But the duty of care just doesn't stop, and I think that's what collectivist cultures have kind of tried to maintain, but it's dissolving due to Western kind of ideology and individualism.
Yes, like sacrifice is such an important part of everything we engage in.
Yeah.
To become successful in your career, you need to sacrifice a lot of time and get an education, or spend a lot of time and effort into that, or to develop a healthy body, you need to put a lot of work in at the gym. But romantic relationships, we don't seem to understand that, and sacrifice is not really even in the discussion.
People will go into a marriage without bearing in mind manipulate.
This is why nice guys finish last.
This is why nice guys finish last. And one thing I have to say about nice guys that finish last, in all of my experience of working with these guys, it's not that they're nice. I would replace that. It's not nice guys finish last. It's naive guys finish last.
Thank you. Naive guys. Those simps. Those that know that you know that she's not for you. You know that this doesn't benefit you, but you still stay. Maybe I can change her. The sex is good. She's a great cook. Whatever the case may be, she looks good. She has a great figure. All of that. Now you're naive. Now you're stupid. And she knows that, and she plays off of that. If something doesn't benefit you, you have to be willing to take up your shoulder pads and your helmet and walk on. Vice versa. If it's something that doesn't benefit that woman, she has to pick up her shoulder pads and her helmet and walk on. Individuals stay in toxic situations that doesn't benefit them, then have the audacity to complain about the outcome. I cannot be making this up. I cannot be making it up.
You can be incredibly nice, but if you're not naive, there'll be nothing to worry about. It's naive men that finish last. And here's, I think, the fundamental ingredient of naive men. They either grew up being hyper attached to their mother or having no father. And I think this is a really important trait that I find in naive men. What happened is that they either had no father, so they just didn't get his side of the story, or when they had a toxic father which made them over-sympathetic to their mother. So then what happened is they just grew up thinking, mom is right, dad is bad. They grew up with that dichotomy. And as a result, they somehow go into the real world thinking women are innocent and men are bad. So if she says to you, my ex was so toxic, he was a narcissist, she's like, oh my God, I totally believe you. Poor thing, let me help you. But whereas if you speak to a man who had an even skew growing up, he would know that mom can be a nightmare sometimes. Poor dad, look how she bullies him. And dad can be so annoying. Oh God, they're both a bit of a nightmare.
There's a balance. You see, there's a balance. In most households, there's no balance. You will know instantly if there's a balance or not by the way an individual behaves, by the way an individual moves. It's not what you say, it's how you say what you say. You will know if that individual have had a balance in their childhood upbringing. When modern feminist women go on social media and say the things that they say, move how they move, you will instantly know that there was no balance in their childhood. Because if there was a proper balance in their childhood, they will not be saying the things that they are saying on social media. And they will know what type of man to stay away from and what type of man to date. They will know the difference between the two. They will not be dating no Pookie and Ray Ray and Larry and them. They're going to attract and date a man of good character.
When you grow up with that even playing field, when a woman says to you, oh, my ex was a narcissist, my ex was so abusive, this happened to me, woe is me, you're thinking, what did you do? Because you experienced that at home.
Accountability.
I say this as somebody who's very attached to my mum and dad. But when my mum would say to me, oh, your dad did this today, I'd be like, yeah, but mum, what did you do? I know, come on, be honest, what did you do? Because they're both as bad as each other. But when somebody hyper attaches to one parent, they take that kind of blinkers into the real world. So I would say nice guys, what happened is either they just took the mum side too much, or they just didn't question reality. They have a really poor relationship with the truth. They don't look for truth. They just look for what they want to hear. So whatever's easy.
Thank you. They take what they want to hear, they take it and run their mouths with it. Instead of looking into it. Let me look into this. Let me figure out why. Let me get down to the root of it all. And once I've gotten down to the root of it all, let me come up with several solutions to help fix it. Okay.
Easier for them, they'll take that. They don't fact check anything. So I would say naive guys finish last. And if you want to be naive and you want to believe that this girl who, is, maybe a quarter of your age and genuinely loves you and is only talking to her ex because he's so toxic and she just needs closure, if you're that guy that believes it, just believe you're going to be upset coming forward.
Yep, that's good advice.
And that concludes our conversation. I'm gonna come back with a part 2, and we're gonna finish the rest of this because it is such a deep discussion, but it leaves the doors open for all of those relationship questions, all of those things that you might have. Those problems, those concerns, those questions, those things. And let me tell you again, when it comes to relationships, there's nothing wrong with both going after what they want, going after what they need. There's nothing wrong with man approaching a woman or woman approaching a man. I've seen good people approach each other. I've seen a woman approach a man, talk to a man, and take that man out for coffee. I've seen it because she was attracted to him, because she wanted to get to know him, because the vibe was good between those two. You have to create the scene. You have to create the vibe. You have to create it all. And it takes two. When two people go into something open-minded and free and just humbled and relaxed and allow things to flow, that's the best place to be. That's the best way to go. You see, I'm open. I'm open to going out to dinner. I'm open to going out for just a cup of coffee. I'm open to going out for a walk because I want to spend time with you. I'm attracted to you. I want to enjoy being in your presence. And vice versa. When you think like that and you move like that, then you'll be able to have the relationship that you want. And you don't have to be on social media talking about where the good men at, because you would already have one. Go on ahead and be great. It's your boy Big Truck. Go on ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know if you liked it. YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble. Let me know that you like it and share your thoughts. Let your soul speak. I want to hear from you. Go be the best version of yourself for me, the people to see. Take that with you and go be great. 1.